Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Good to see you. Hump Day. How many of you, maybe put it in the chats, how many of you have looked up and went, 2022 is almost gone? My weeks just fly by. I look up and we're right in the month of Thanksgiving. Holy smokes, it is flying. It's crazy. I remember my grandparents told me, like, son, the older you get, the faster it's going to go. And I'm like, whoo, are they ever so right? Um, All right. Well, happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's doing great. Our word for today is synergy. I promise you, I'm all locked in and prepared for this word. And I love this word. So if you look at the definition, it's the interaction or cooperation of two or more organizations, substances, or other agents to produce a combined effect greater than the sum of their separate effects. Now, I'll tell you personally why I love this word, because I come from an education background, a coaching background. And I got to watch over the years, I got to watch like teams combine. Like you have this team and that team, and you're trying to bring them in and merge them into one fist and create synergy. I've had the good fortune of watching school systems combine, where you've got this school that's the Hawks and this school that's the Eagles, and you try to come out of the ground. Andrea, I'm hearing something. I'm not sure what it is. We try to come out of the ground with a brand new school with a brand new mascot. Has anybody ever been there before? And we call the mascot the Elephants, right? And you get the synergy. You try to work to create the synergy that makes everybody grab and hold on to that new thing, right? And for a lot of us that's on here, we're going through a time of synergy, right? We're going through a time of that same feeling, and it can be a beautiful thing. And here's why. Because teamwork, that's all of us. Teamwork at its best results in synergy. If we'll just work together, if we'll just create trust amongst one another, if we'll have each other's back, if like Lance McAllister, Lance, man, we're going to talk about you for the next year. Like Lance runs the Ironman, completes the Ironman, but think about all of the people that reached out to Lance, that Lance has sit at home and thought about it, thought, goodness, how great is it to be surrounded with people that care about you, that love you, that support you. That's what it's about. It creates synergy. Synergy is better than my way or your way. It's our way. Like that's really what synergy is. Not my way. It's not your way. See, I didn't go into those high schools and go, I'm going to still talk about being a hawk, or I'm going to still talk about being an eagle. I said, we got to start talking about being an elephant. Does that make sense? Because that synergy is something, it's not my way. It's not Valerie Randall's way. It's the new way. That's what creates teamwork. That's what creates synergy, because everybody's collective thoughts together merged into one fist creates the synergy that can take us to the next milestone. And the last thing I want to share is I'm going to give you 6 rules today. If you want to create synergy amongst people around you, number 1, you got to surround yourself with people that have similar goals. See, when we brought those high schools together, there was negative. The negative people were on different goal paths. It wasn't ours. So we had to surround ourselves with people that were working towards similar goals of ours to create synergy and to support that new name, the elephant. Hope that makes sense. They also have to have sense of self. Here's what I mean by that. Valerie, Randy, Dr. Bob, like they're all coming into the new, but they've got to have and keep the sense of self. What does that mean? The belief that you're rooted by, the purpose that drives you every morning. You got to know your own goals, your own values, and your own ideals. You got to. They stay open to new ideas. You know, just in our profession, Tracy Turnberg's on here. He's somebody I didn't know 5 years ago, 3 years ago, but he's come in. We've become really close, and he's got ideas that I've never thought about. How great is that? This knucklehead inside of me is so much smarter because of just listening to him and his ideas. I got to be open to new ideas. Our mind's like a parachute. It only works when it's open. They embrace trust. We got to trust each other. You got to surround yourself. Have you ever been in business with somebody you just really wouldn't take home to your parents? It's not a good feeling. There's always going to be those people in business, but you got to surround your core around the people that's got your back, and you got theirs. You got to surround yourself, and you got to create synergy through people that understand that working together will build the biggest building, the biggest empire. And then the last is we got to show respect to each other. That means creating and treating people, even the worst player on the team, you treat them with respect. You treat them with love. You support the role they're in. And that's just like in my profession. Like, I want everybody to go be $1 million earner, but I've got to love the person that just wants to stay here and just use the products. I got to embrace them, and they got to know they're seen, and they got to know they're cared about in my profession. So, Andrea, I'll turn it to you. I know I took too much time and we got started late. That is my fault. But guys, I love you. I appreciate you. And great word.
Perfect amount of time. I thought that was fantastic. And the quote that I found is, none of us is as smart as all of us. And I think about that, kind of what you said, the more minds that we have connecting, the smarter we all get, the more successful we all get, the more, difference we can make in our world. And how do we create that synergy? So when I think about synergy, I think about unity on steroids, like unity at work. Because if we're united, but we're not really going anywhere, we're not doing anything, maybe we don't have that synergy. But when we're united and we have this common path, we can create something so incredible. Like, you really see a team humming along, for lack of a better word. So how do we create that? How do we create that synergy within a group of humans? So first of all, we got to pay attention. We got to pay attention to all those beings around us and highlight their talents and strengths. Y'all know this, like, you're not going to have me be the math person in the class, right? I had somebody ask me a question last night, and I said, that is a really, really important question. And I'm so glad that you asked it. And I would recommend that you turn around and you walk over there and you ask him, because I'm not a numbers person and I can't help you with that. So highlight the other people's strengths, and I've got different strengths. And so highlight and pay attention to those so we know what everybody brings to the table and we acknowledge it. Next is create the right team culture. So that could be anything. Like, maybe you really want a culture of competition. You want everybody to, want to run and fight and get, different positions within the organization. Okay, fine. But maybe you want your culture to be inclusion. Well, if you want it to be have the culture of inclusion, then we have to be inclusive, right? I've got to invite you to my table if I want that to be the whole culture. And if I want a culture of, let's say, charity, well, then I better be generous. That's the culture that I want to create. Next, we want to be aligned with the team's vision and goal. And I think about, back in the day, and actually I really feel it right now, when we had a common cause. I think about the unfinished business. I think about helping families. Like I get choked up just thinking about it. Like that's not too uncommon, but anyway, I get choked up thinking about it, where I think about the helping families make it to Friday. And if we have that common goal, then we can create that synergy within everything that we do. And next, we give credit where credit's due. Like if you're out there running as a team and your contribution is not acknowledged or maybe absorbed by somebody else, do you really want to contribute too much? Like back in the high school projects where maybe one of you wrote the article and the other one made the whatever. And if the person took credit for your work, did you want to help next time? Did you really have any synergy? No, absolutely not. So we want to absolutely acknowledge the contributions that people make, even if it's something that isn't in our wheelhouse. Like we really have to look for it. And then lastly, celebrate each other. And I think about Lance, and poor Lance, he's probably so tired of us talking about him, but sorry, you shouldn't do amazing things if you don't want to be talked about. But I think about Lance, and we were cheering him on all he knows. He's like, it was a long day. We were cheering him on all day. And when he won, or finished, I don't know if it was a competition, anyway, whatever. When he finished, I'm going to say when he won, we all celebrated. Like I got choked up. Coach, I was with Brent Palmer. We gave each other high five, like we had anything to do with it. Like we were so excited because we celebrated his win all day. And that became our win. Not that we thought we had any part of it, but it came into our heart. And we were so excited to celebrate him. And I think about our team. So many of us are working towards the Catalyst Club. And I'm super excited. If you've texted me, well, I've got a lot of texts. So I promise I will get back to you and I'm going to get you on the sheet. But how much fun is that I'm going to we are going to get to celebrate each other's wins. Then we get to be a part of it. It gets to be in our heart and we're all on this journey together, and that creates so much synergy. So thank you so much for this one today. I loved it. I got choked up, how rare, and thought that was super powerful. So thanks, Coach.
No, great lesson. And guys, also, if you're in our business, tune in tonight, 7 p.m. I think it's 7 or 8 p.m. It's in Telegram.
8 p.m. Central.
8 p.m. Not myself, Tracy Turnberg will be on talking about how to work this catalyst with the system of growth. Guys, we're so excited right now, and we appreciate you. I know not everybody's in our business that tunes in to the Coach's Corner, but what an amazing community. We spent last night with Sophia Rouse, which is on here from Iowa, that is living in our hometown now, and it's just like, isn't it cool to know that Randy could come to Alabama, Randy Milliron, and I'm going to take care of him? Or I go out to Wyoming and he's my brother. So guys, that's what it's all about. So we love you. We appreciate you. We're grateful for you. Have a great Wednesday.
Have a great Wednesday. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Great day.
Thank you. Love y'all.